And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you every day as I always do. Today's Focus Friday, and I am here with my partner in crime, Mr. Chris Edwards. What's up, Chris?
I'm just gonna say morning. I'm
Good
not gonna say good.
morning, right?
No, I'm just gonna say morning. I'm gonna leave the good
Morning.
off. Yeah.
And so I'm a little out of it today, guys. I had my shingles vaccination yesterday. Thought it was not going to have an effect because the first one didn't have an effect. But my body is sore. And I got this, what comes with the vaccination is this cough, so
Mm.
I'm just a little out of it. So if we happen to end early, you'll know why. It's because Ron is slithering back into the bed.
Mm. Well, speedy recovery. I know how that feels when you get those vaccination shots.
Oh man, the vaccination, Lord have. So I'm finished now with all of my tests and everything, so that's good. And
Yeah.
and now it's just a matter of all the results coming back, and I do believe everything will be good. So and then I'll be heading out next week. Next week is can you believe it's next week and next Sunday on the plane. I'm out.
Already.
Can't
I
believe
thought
it.
it comes very fast.
Yeah, I'm working on plans with my buddy. She goes, Ron, don't rush back, don't rush down to Africa without all my friends are like, she's like, because she's getting married next week. And so I'm sorry, the week of that I arrive in Portugal. And so she's like, why don't you come on and drive down to the south of France to hang out with us? And I say, that sounds like a good idea. I was like, I think that sounds like a good idea, but let's do some. I'm going to do some advertisements first, and one I want to do, which right off the cuff, is for tomorrow. Women of Color, Long Journey Forward, and Still We Rise. That is going to be at the Wilmer Jennings Gallery here in New York City on 219 East 2nd Avenue. 2nd Street in New York, and we will be open. The gallery opens at 11 a.m. and we'll close at 6. However, between the hours of 2 and 5, you will have access to the artists and the artist open reception. So we're going to have that. So come on out. It's supposed to be extremely cold tomorrow. And I'm just like, oh, it's going to be so cold. I got to get up in the morning. But I will. I will. So come out, be a part of it if you can. Group photo exhibition celebrating the women, and then it goes on to 688 Postal Directory Battalion. Also, just so you know, just gonna pop these in here quickly as well. Join our email list today, and you can do that by just going to ronlewisphotos.com. And also, I am an event photographer. If you're looking for an event photographer, reach out and I can just DM me. Even though I'm going away, I will come back. I'm not going away forever. So if you want to have something on the calendar that you want to have photograph an event, that's what I do. It's event photography, headshots, and all that good stuff. So let me know. And also, if you're a part of the Patreon community, I just want to make sure I say thank you for you guys. You always support what we do here. You are the reason why. Your support helps us create amazing content. And last but not least, as we get this show on the road, make sure you hit the likes if you're in the building, and make sure if you're new here, subscribe. We welcome you to subscribe. Okay, so there you have it. And if you haven't heard, well, first of all, let's say good morning.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do good morning first. Let's do, yes. My brain, I'm having multiple things going on in my head right now because I'm extremely angry about something, and we'll talk about it. And yes. So anyway, let's say hello. First person in the building is the Sunny Boy, TGIF. He says,
Actually, no. See, it's Fifi's is number
Fifi's
one.
Here. No, Fifi came in at 11:02. 11:01 is Adrian.
No. 10:54 Fifi was here.
Really?
That's what I'm saying.
Seeing that. Yes.
That's what I said. Sometimes
right.
we don't see everything. I was on for a while, so it depends on who comes in the room first. You'll see who sees who.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fifi
so
came
we
in at
take
10-4.
silver goes to Fifi, the gold goes to Adrian. See, Fifi, we got you. You see, Chris was right here to defend you.
No. Fifi has the gold.
She got the gold. You got the gold.
She got the gold.
You got the gold.
And Adrian
Fifi.
got the silver.
And Adrian got the silver this morning.
Yeah.
And also, Adrian says, "Love the bead necklace, Chris."
Thank you, sir. These are we bought these when we were in Hawaii. And matching bracelets.
I love it. I was like, "Is it Mardi Gras?"
No.
That's the end of the month.
So these are made from traditional like they're tree nut seeds.
Really?
Yeah. I forget exactly what they're called.
They look good.
Yeah.
Okay. And Adrian says, "Ron is ripping the Hawks. Seahawks, y'all, Seahawks." And so excited about that. I dug in the drawer. I still have my Seahawks hat. That's one thing I don't give up. I didn't give it up. And I've had it for decades. Anyway, Omar says, "Happy Friday." Also, does Omar get the bronze? Yes, Omar gets the bronze.
Yes, he does.
Okay, Omar gets the bronze. He is on top of
I think
here.
we're both on the same page now.
Now we're on the same. It's only the very first people know.
It depends on who comes in the room first.
Yes.
On our end, at least.
I know Chris R was like, "Dog it. That bronze." Like Chris R is in the building and she says, "Good morning." And if you are in the building, make sure you hit the like. Oh, wait a minute. You guys went from 20 degrees. This is what's crazy about Texas. He says 79 degrees here in Texas. Isn't that crazy? Wow. It was just 20. It was just like 15 degrees, right? Last week. Man, the ranges in Texas. And still Ron will rise in the morning. Yes, right. You see how important you are to me? I will roll out just to spend time with you, even in my shingles vaccination. And for all those, I mean, not to, obviously I do try to keep, if I'm going through things, I like to share things with you so that way it'll help you. If you're of an older age, I do believe the number is 50 or older. I think it's 50. If you are like the half-century mark, I do believe you should be getting your shingles vaccination. And the reason why I say this is so important, people do not realize how shingles, when it attacks your body, it attacks the weakest area, wherever that area is. And one of my friends almost lost her eyesight because the shingle hit her right in your eyes, and they were able to do whatever they needed to do to kind of try to figure out to stop it from spreading. But she almost lost her eyesight. Now I was like, I need my eyeball, so I need to get my shingle vaccination. So if you are of a certain age, and they say you had the chicken pox, I think it is. So I had the chicken pox when I was like 2 years old. So if you had the
a lot of us did.
Yes, if you had the chicken pox, that means the shingle virus lives within you, like the commercial says. So make sure that you get your shingle vaccination. This is my second. The first one was a breeze. This second one, I'm feeling it today. I could not get out of bed. I could not. I rolled. So I finally go in the bathroom, shower, then came out, and did all the things you need to do before you be presentable to the world. And then said, I am still in pain. So Kimmy Kim is in the building, and she says, "Good morning. It's the weekend, y'all." And Bryson says, excuse me, "What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, RLP fam? Happy New Music Fridays and Happy New Movies Friday. Welcome to the weekend, aka Super Bowl weekend." FI cheated.
Oh, Kiki cheated.
Fifi. You gotta use the FE. Fee.
Yeah. No, Fifi. She was here.
Yeah, she was here. Fifi was here. She was here. She looks. She's got her winner's gold up. Okay. And hey, Adrian, Fifi, Adrian laughing. Have y'all watched the Chief Yes.
People Wars, yeah. That's a series on Apple TV. Very
That is
good
one of my.
series.
It's so good. I recommended
Yeah.
it to the folks.
With Jason
Because
Momoa.
oh, so well done. The
Momoa.
writing, but when you get to that last episode of this season, explosive.
Yeah.
Woo! You just sit there like cinema. I mean, it gives you that full cinematic feel.
Yeah.
So anyway, you check it out for those that haven't seen it. We'll not talk about it any more than that, but it is worth checking out on Apple TV. Okay, hey everyone, sending love, says Fifi. And she's also on the road. I know she's on her way back home. Omar says it will be in the mid-70s for the next 2 weeks. Oh, we need some of that here in New York. I told my buddy, one of my friends, colleagues, he is the weatherman for Channel 2. And I sent him a text this morning and I said, when is this cold weather going to end? And then so he says give it a couple maybe in a week or two it'll be over. So we'll see. But yeah, so Kelly A says, do we get Kelly A in the building? Kelly A says, good morning, everyone. This is Focus Friday. For those that don't know, this is our Focus Friday. And let's see here. Kimmy says, I need to get my shingles shot too. I had it last year, uncomfortable for nearly a month. They say it's bad. The shingles is nothing to play with. They
painful.
say it is painful. You get blisters. It travels in different parts of your body. I'm not one for pain. So I'd rather get the shot. I'd rather go through today feeling off than to have those blisters. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Those blisters are no joke. Ken says, awesome Friday morning, wonderful people. Again, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like. And also Kelly A says, yes, I need to get mine. I had chickenpox in my early 20s. Really? That's late.
Oh, that's late.
Yes, early 20s. Wow. Someone says Indiana would beat the Super Bowl champs. I don't know. I think the Seahawks are gonna win. Anyway, I don't think the Indiana's in this race anyway. Kimika says, I'm jealous, Omar. I'm jealous of the hot weather. And Fifi says, oh, lurking to dry. Stay focused on the upcoming primaries, please. Yes, those for those. And guess what? New York City captured a seat from the Republicans. The Democrats took another seat from the Republicans. Good job. Republicans are out. Democrats are in across the country, but they're trying to use their shenanigans. We are not trying to be relevant. We are relevant. Goodbye, Mr. Billy Johnson. And Tanya says, good Friday morning, fam. Good Friday morning. Bryson says, as y'all may know, The Strangers Chapter 3 is officially out today. The latest final installment of the trilogy, and Wicked for Good is coming to Peacock March 20th. Man, Bryson, you stay on top of this stuff. And Kimmy Kim says, medication helps. Diagnosis took nearly a week. I was down and down for most of that time. Shingles, again, if you didn't get your shingle vaccination, get them. It's worth it. Okay. And also, I see Tanya saying with the hands up. And FF, a CBS morning video. Oh, let's see what Ken says. A CBS morning video this past week titled "A Widow's Chief and an Angel's Compassion" here on YouTube is a heartwarming, feel-good story for our Focus Friday. Okay, good. Thank you. Look, did you see Ken right out the gate said FF? Did you see that? Oh, some people are definitely listening. And Bryson says, yes, I was. Okay, so if you have not heard, it is all over the internet. And I had to do my research because I couldn't. Let me rephrase that. I could believe what I saw. I just didn't know if it was AI.
No, this was
And so
not AI.
I've been challenged by my family and friends to always, you know, guys, I always research. But in these AI streets, you have to double research. So I really thought that this was AI, and it wasn't. It was Kenkel's in the evening last night, late night yesterday, posted a post,
Reposted
reposted a post of Michelle and Barack Obama,
former
as
president
apes.
and first lady of this country.
Yeah, a former president, a great president, and former first lady with a racist, bigoted, child mindset kind of repost. But also the people that actually put it together, those are just as bad as Kenkel's. But anyway, how about this? Let me just go through some of this today. I need to just share it. I didn't want we said, you know what? Let's share it.
Before you share, I want to
Yeah, go ahead,
read
bud.
what a description of that is. Okay. So the depiction of Black people as monkeys or apes is a deeply rooted, centuries-old racist trope used to justify slavery, colonialism, and systemic violence by portraying African descendants people as subhuman, uncivilized, or less evolved. Originating in colonial times, this imagery was solidified through scientific racism in the 19th century and persists in modern media and politics today.
And so here we go. And this is okay. We're just gonna get it off, get it out there, and let's talk about it a little bit. Because if you're just frustrated, I am, and you need to vent, this is a good chance to vent. This is your time to vent. Share what's on your mind. Share what's on your thoughts. This is from our people at the Black Information Network. Great platform. Focus Friday. We're focusing on their platform as well at the same time. But here it is, the headlines. Trump posts racist video showing Obamas as monkeys. There's the photo. Then it's a whole video. Then Governor Newsom goes out and says, disgusting behavior by the president. Every single Republican must denounce this now. But we know the Republicans are what? Crickets. If you haven't gotten the memo that these people are racist to the core, you need your head examined. Also, from Mr. Jones, this is disgusting. Every American should condemn the president's behavior. John Cooper, this disgusting video posted by Trump on Truth Social showing the Obamas as monkeys is a racist, vile, dehumanizing trope rooted in hatred. Trump's growing desperation clearly shows America rejects this bigotry. Some of America is the one that's rejecting it, because there's some Americans that are okay with this. Ben Rose says, let it haunt Trump and his racist followers that future Americans will embrace the Obamas as beloved figures while studying him as a stain on our history. And the next one, and we'll leave it with George Conway. George Conway says, Trump is a racist president. I'm old enough to remember writing an opt on this particular subject. And then it goes on. This is one you should hear.
Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. As of this recording, the post has remained up for hours, despite all the outrage spreading on social media. That is deliberate. That is a choice. Didn't want to share the image with you, but their go-to move is to gaslight. They're already saying it's fake, it's AI. This is not fake. This is not AI generated. This is up on the Truth Social account of the President of the United States. I don't ever want to hear again that Donald Trump doesn't mean it or he's just kidding. There's nothing funny about that image. It is one of the oldest, most harmful tropes around. It goes back to slavery. It goes back to Jim Crow. It was designed to dehumanize Black people, to justify the horrific treatment they received and continue to deal with. This is Black History Month. This tiny chunk of time out of the year when we are supposed to be highlighting, reflecting on, discussing the achievements, the resilience, the humanity of Black people. And the president goes and posts something so disgusting, so outrageous, so vile, so painful. Donald Trump has always been this man. He's the guy who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the unaliving of the Central Park Five and has never apologized for that, even after they were exonerated. There are innumerable, irrefutable examples of Donald Trump being a racist. And I don't know why you MAGAs defend him. That was why you voted for him in the first place. Donald Trump is a lifelong bigot who is not long for this world. Pay attention to the reactions of the people around him. Do not forget the Republicans who gave a tepid response to this. It should be unequivocally condemned in no uncertain terms. And as for the people around you, if they aren't willing to acknowledge this and admit the harm that it does, it's time to educate them, ostracize them, or both. Not a difference of opinion. This is not, oh, two things I never discussed, politics and religion. You have to call racism out. It's unacceptable for anybody, let alone the President of the United States, let alone during Black History Month. Sad thing is we already know the way most of our elected officials are going to respond to this. Don't let them get away with it. Don't ever let them live it down.
So, like many of you, I saw the post that Trump posted to his Truth Social, and I would say there's nothing beneath this man at all. But how a man who actually looks like an orange baboon to depict somebody else as an ape is hilarious to me. The truth of the matter is, there's not any place in this country where you could show that meme at your job and keep it. Not one. And if you don't think it's a big deal, send it around on the office email. See how long it takes for human resources to come cart your ass out of there. There's nothing beneath this man. He's a vile human being. And everything he's accused of, I'm sure he did it. He just doesn't have the moral standing to not do it. And Roseanne Barr lost her show for saying exactly the same thing about Valerie Jarrett. The only place in America, the only job in America where you could say something so this overtly racist and still keep it is the President of the United States of America. What does it say about the man who occupies the highest office in the land held to the lowest standard? And Black Trump supporters, that's why nobody can say, the stuff y'all won't tolerate.
My comments on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this man that has dementia, mental decline, and in sundowning syndrome. For those that don't know, people who have dementia tend to have a time of the night, especially where they call sundowning, where they just go off the deep end. And I know what I'm talking about. I have a family member that is somewhat dealing with this right now. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this. I don't not expect this from him. This is who he is. And as you get older and disease starts to set into your mind, the things that these things just bring who you are to the forefront. It's like people when they say, oh, I was drunk and I said something.
I didn't mean to say it. Right?
When you are inebriated and drunk, all the things that you really want to say come to the forefront.
Yes.
So this man is stepping to the front of the room. And think about it. There are a couple things going on. These are the type of things that he does late night into early morning. You should be sleeping, sir. But you don't do that. You're sleeping during the daytime because of your illness. And you're rage tweeting and putting stuff on Truth Social in the middle of the night when you should be resting. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is, this is a bigger problem. This is all smoke and mirrors for what is to come. Because here's the thing. If you notice now, all this stuff always comes out on a late night Thursday or early morning Friday to distract from the news that's going to get dropped later. So as Elise and Gwendolyn always say, let's not get distracted, because this can be a distraction. But I think, though, we need to really talk about this and what this man has put out into the world. Not only is he putting it out into America, the entire world is seeing what a racist, bigoted, subhuman of a man we have in the White House and what he is doing. The fact that now there's a whole video that goes to it. Now, if you haven't seen it, like, the whole video is deplorable to begin with. They've got Democrats on all types of animals is running through the jungle. And then what makes it even worse is Caroline Leavitt, who is supposed to be the white person's spokesperson, didn't come out and condemn it. She's justifying it by saying, oh, this video is supposed to reflect Donald Trump being king of the jungle and everyone else is other animals. That's bullshit, lady. You stand up there with your cross and try to justify the things that this man says. You need to go take a seat somewhere, first off. Now, these Republicans will sit there and be quiet about this. We expect this from them. I'm watching. Don Lemon is still on, and he's bringing lots of different people to come on and talk about this. Black people are mad about this, okay? But this is not something that we have not seen before. And it's funny, when this came on my feed this morning, when I got up around 4 o'clock, because I saw it really early this morning.
Here. Yeah.
It actually brought me back to a conversation I had with a colleague and friend when I first started out right outside of college. I was in my early 20s, and she sat there and told me about a story. She went to Temple University. I think I've told this story on this platform before, where this white young girl from middle of the country had never been out of her state, out of her neighborhood. They had one street light, and she went up to this young, beautiful Black woman who was a friend of mine and said, well, where's your tail? The audacity of these people to even utter these words, and then to have someone who has the bully pulpit, has the ear of the world listening, to put out a racist, I don't even have the words for this, like how enraging it is. Because not only, this is how they see a lot of us. They've been saying this, the quiet parts, for so long in the dark. And now he has allowed these people to say this out loud and put it out there on Front Street. Yes, we should be enraged. Yes, we should fight back. But I think that we need to be very measured. And you know what? Sit back and let these white people deal with this shit.
Yeah. I sat there and said, I knew, like I said, at first I woke up, I saw it on my screen. I was like, this can't be real. In my mind, I'm like, first of all, I'm groggy and I'm waking up. This cannot be real. This got to be AI. And then I started to, then I looked it up because, I had to go do my Google machine. So I looked up and asked the Google, I said, Google, is this real that I just read? Blah, 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 la, la, la. And then Google responded, gave me all the information, what caused it, what happened, when it gave me everything I needed. And then I was able to go to my Copilot, do the same. And I just sat there and said, and I always go back to, because I was raised in church, I was raised in the Christian faith. I am a Black person, as everybody can see. And I don't know for the life of me how Christians, people that say they love God, are with this. But we also know that, it's always said that, you see sports and you see like white Christians, how did the denominations come out of one another? Because obviously Black people weren't allowed to worship in white churches, and go back to slavery and all that other stuff. So you get the AME church and all the other Black churches that came out of these religions, movements. And you sit there and you go, how can any Black Christian of all? So it's like in my head, it's like even degrees. get it. A lot of white Christians don't believe we have souls. Can you believe? I mean, when I actually heard that someone say they did not believe Black people had souls, but that justifies them being as evil as they could possibly be. They have to justify their evils. But when you see someone like this, and I don't want any of the people I used to talk to, I want them to totally understand why I've cut them off. This is why I've cut every one of these people off. And it's just a matter of a disagreement. We could agree with them. No, I cannot call you an associate, a friend of any kind if you are for this man. You should, just like we are upset about this, as a white person or a Hispanic person or indigenous person, everyone should be upset.
Outraged
that the president of the United States of America posts something so vile and disrespectful of another person.
Another person that has actually been in the seat of power. Okay. There's one thing, I think there's an unspoken rule. I mean, which, he doesn't follow traditions or whatever, but you never ever denigrate your former presidents that have occupied that White House.
That's right.
And especially when you're in that seat of power, because it's a very limited few people that know what it is to be in that seat and to have that much power and the responsibility that it takes. And here's the other thing too. This is not the first time we've ever had racist presidents or people that occupy the White House or the administration. But I really think that we're in a different time and space where this person puts it out into the world in such a way that's never, ever been seen before. And then to have people co-sign on it. Let me give you another example. Brian Donalds, Republican, Black Republican. He came out this morning. He had a tweet. Instead of completely condemning it, he said, "If this is true, Donald Trump should take this down because this is probably the most racist thing that's ever come out the White House." Let me just I'm trying to be very measured with what I'm saying. That's not the response you're supposed to have.
Exactly.
We know
Brian.
Man.
We know Brian.
We know. But of course, he's placating again to his base and then to the white people. No, sir. Remember, you championed this man. You kissed his ass. And when it came time to get a seat at the table, he was like, "No, thank you." You were left out in the cold. And you still sit here and defend him.
Yes.
You should have unequivocally come out and said, "No, this is racist. I denounce this. I have nothing to do with this. I separate myself from this." No, you said, "Oh, well, if this is true." How much more true does it have to be? This man retweeted it himself on his social platform. The White House has come out and said, "Yeah, we put it out, but that's not what it means." We all know what it means.
It's like we're living in some world of bizarro. I always say is that these people want you to believe they want you to believe or believe something that against something you see. This man is a racist.
We've all known it.
And I don't understand the people that keep playing around with this man. And I don't understand why this is not the first. I mean, I'm looking at, I've been looking at news this morning from the bedside. And I'm sitting there like, this should be talked about. This should be the thing that people are talking about all day long. I know there's lots of stuff going on in the world. But the president of the United States posted, this should be echoing through every chamber, every newspaper, every front line, what do you call it? mainstream media, independent news. This should be on and on. This should be the only story of the day.
Pretty much.
Because you know why? Because you need those folks that don't get their news from real good news sources to see it so overwhelmingly in the pipelines that they can't deny. Now, some of them will deny no matter what because they believe in what he believes. I see Adrian says, don't measure, Chris, just pour. And Gwendolyn said the mental gymnastics is insane. Like the Tim Scott. I mean, they are such an embarrassment to the Black community. It just makes you sick to your stomach to think that these people are Black people and in a position of power. They're senators, they're congressmen, and they're going along with this. Their outrage is not an outrage enough for me.
It's crazy. I mean, you were saying how like the mainstream media isn't even really talking about this. I literally have NBC, ABC, and CBS on their websites right now. The only one that has the slightest hint of it is CBS, which is actually shocking and surprising. NBC and ABC don't have any coverage of it on their news on their website.
They didn't mention it, or they just simply said, "Oh, the president put a racist tweet, post on his Truth Social," and then they moved around to the next subject.
Yeah,
it's crazy. This should be an outrage. People should be outraged. They should be outraged. I can't tell you. I mean, part of me is, I'm glad I'm going to be away for a couple of months because I am done. I am so done with the people. These, I know that we as Black people and the people that are on the right side of justice, we are fighting the good fight, but there's only but so much your mind can handle and keep, and you have to let it go. I am at the place I have to I am so done with the people in this country.
This is what you call shock and awe campaign. Every Friday is a news dump, and how he always starts it off is with these just asinine tweets, social posts early in the morning, because as I mentioned at the top of this show, he is sundowning. When you have dementia, he's probably hallucinating, seeing things, hearing things. This is what he does. He is just in a space of manic. He's manic right now. He's crazy, and he's just spewing all types of stuff. He sees something, he reposts it, and this White House does nothing but uplift all the things that he's doing.
But they're into this. I mean, these are racist people. We all know that. I mean, every single person, you cannot be a part of this administration and not have the same belief system. You can't. I tell people all the time, "Oh, I voted for Trump. la 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 la," and I'm like, it's impossible to have a moral compass and vote against your moral compass and sleep and be at ease. It is human beings are not made unless there's a detachment of some kind, psychological detachment. You can't separate the two. You cannot say it's just politics. It's not.
It's not even close. And Jazzy, I'm not blaming on dementia. I'm just saying, this man is mentally incapacitated. One, he should not be occupying the White House. That's the first thing. And, the fact that people are standing by, and letting him occupy this office, that's what the real problem is. They talk about Joe Biden. I mean, this man can't even make it through any of his own meetings. He falls asleep in every single one of his meetings. He's been a racist from day one, the Central Park Five. And even before that, his father was a racist. His family has been sued so many times in court. Absolutely.
This is nothing new. This is nothing new to Black people in New York City. We
Absolutely.
all know. But still, there's some stupid Black people in New York City that follow this idiot. Let that sink in. But there's always been those people. Tanya said, is it just the technology that we are seeing this more often? White folks haven't changed. People of color want to forget or aren't reminded that hanging humans from trees was a sporting event. Not so long ago. Not so long ago. Not so long
It's true.
ago, Tanya.
It's true. So I want to switch subjects a little bit because, well, once you get through all the comments, but there's also something that's really important in the news. Let me see if I can pull it back up because I had it here. This has to do with the Black farmers and specifically John Boyd Jr., who is president of the National Black Farmers Association. He was told not to come to a meeting that was specifically designed for farmers. They're saying that they're no longer focusing on DEI for farmers and small farmers issues. One, Black farmers contribute to this country like any other farmer, and their goods are sold around the world like any other farmer in this country. And then the fact that, I mean, this is just another blatant example of the open racism in this administration. I don't know if you guys have been following this or paying attention, but this happened, I believe, yesterday. Let me see if I can pull up the article. Where is it? Yeah, I mean, they say that they're moving away from Black farmer issues. They're moving away from DEI and small farmer issues, and we're focusing on low-scale white farmers and corporate farmers because they produce the most food. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
I mean, how many policies have they done to take Black farmers to the woodchuck? You want a woodchuck? I mean, just leaving them out, taking their land, making their, making it harder and harder for them to sell and to use crops and to get the things that they need to till the land. But this is where we are, y'all. This is where you are. I'm sorry I had to, give you some of this, but you know what? It's like we have to keep reminding ourselves, like Tanya said, is that, and Gwendolyn said also, these people live among us. They've been living among us. They just now have a license now to say what they want to say, do what they want to do. They've never died off. Some of these people are children of the same people that hung our brothers and sisters from the tree and were laughing as the hanging was going on, the lynching. When someone sent me a historical clip of lynching here in America, and when you look at every one of those photos and you see all the white faces laughing, and he and Kiki, and as they say, Kikiing and all the other stuff, those people are still with us because those were the kids with their parents watching the lynchings, the burnings, and they're still with us. They're still among us. They live side by side. They're in the police department. They are in the streets. They're in government. They're in the Congress. They are senators. They are the president.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the video that I did share also had the song "Strange Fruit." This is where we are in America, and I am well past my father's age when he used to get on my case about this subject. And I have to tell you, every day I become more and more. I think I mentioned to you guys, my buddy and I were at the museum a couple of weeks ago. And he says, why is it that when I come to the museum, I leave out angry and hating white people? And I said, you know what? I think most of us do. We may never verbalize it. We don't hate all white people. But we do hate those that did us wrong. And I know hate is a strong word. They would say, well, don't use the word hate. But there's a time for hate. Go back to Ecclesiastics. There's a time to hate. There's a time to face the realities of where we are. So I am at a place, again, like I said, I hold my friends dear. I make my time valuable to my friends and the ones I love and that mean something to me, that bring hope and joy. Guys, in this period of our lives, in this chapter of American history, we have to really get the old Westerns. We got to circle the wagons and we got to protect our people. We have to protect our hearts. We have to protect one another. And we have to do it with all of our heart, with all of our might, with all of our soul and being. These people are for real. They are not playing games. And we should not play games either. And we got to vote. Yes. But we know they're going to try every negative, nasty thing they can to mess up these elections. But if we overwhelm the voting, they cannot win. Every single person of color. I know my white folks, I know my white friends out there. I know the white folks out there that are, out there trying to do their best. But you can do better. But every single person, non-white person in America, needs to vote the hell out of these elections. You need to show up at the board meetings,
primaries,
teachings, teacher elections, sheriff elections, every single election. And we as a people of color, which is most of the planet, we are the majority. We are the majority. People of color are the majority. And I know some white people get uncomfortable saying stuff like this. It's okay. You need to be uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, we have to be honest. We have to be honest. Until every single person in this country, white, black, Chinese, Spanish, whatever, goes to the polls or lift their voices up against this insanity, we're doomed. We need all participation. Every single person. Even if you don't like a particular group, you need to join hands with them for this one if you can see eye to eye on it. Get this man out of office. He doesn't deserve to serve a full term.
He's never been reelected. He should be in prison right now.
He should be in prison. Yes.
He's a convicted felon 34 times over. Let's not diminish that. Let's keep saying it out loud.
I see Tanya says, we need to pay attention to the Bible Belt's primaries. White folks are scrambling. Anthony says, please check and recheck that you are registered. Please register. Yes, check your registration. And if you have loved ones that don't have their birth certificates and all their papers, this is the time to go down to those offices and get your birth certificates and get all the paperwork done now, so that when they tell you, oh, you need your birth certificate, you need your digital ID, you need this, get it all done now and take your family members to do it now. This is a war. We are fighting against those who are against democracy and who want to only see, and I still don't get it for the white folks, the poor white folks. These people are not for you. They could care less about you. They want you to be warring against the people of color. Because as long as you are warring against the people of color, you can't see your own misfortunes.
Yeah.
You're
Listen,
losing your homes. You're losing your farms. You're losing jobs. Speaking of jobs, yesterday's numbers, did you see the numbers that came out? The worst job numbers since 2009. People are losing their homes in this country, and they're not just Black. They are majority white. But again, as long as they have white people thinking that they are so different from the people of color, they are bamboozling you. You need to know they don't like you either. The billionaire class does not like you. Anyway, Chris, anything?
Listen, these are all distractions. Yes, we talk about them because we have to. We need to stay, but we need to stay focused. Watching the comments in the chat between Gwendolyn and Tanya and Anthony, and I know if Felice was here, she would be saying it. Listen, everything that he's doing, all the things that the Republicans are doing, they're all distractions. They're trying to distract you from one thing. They do not want us to vote for these primaries. They do not want us to vote in the midterm elections, and they do not want us to vote in the presidential election in 28. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Go out there and register if you're not registered. If there are primaries out there and people that need help to get to these polls to put their ballots in, go and do that. We have to stay strong. We have to stay focused. And yes, we will have these distractions. We can talk about it here, air it out, get it off our chest, but then you turn around and you get back in line and you stay focused.
And yeah, and G says, then they are actively working to rig the elections. And I'm going to leave this out with this last comment. I think this would be a nice way to end it. Here we go. This is from our friend Charles. Love Charles. Charles Blow. Here we go.
Yeah, he had a good. What was his post from this morning?
Yeah, from this morning.
Yeah.
Racism up close. I know what it is, and it isn't.
And also the pages are taking longer to load now.
When people show you who they are, believe them. Yes.
Growing up in the deep South.
And that's all I have for you today. That's all we have for you today. A reminder of these evil people that live among us. But that's not the end of the story. Every one of us can make a difference using our platforms to share our outrage about what's going on, to motivate people to go and vote, to motivate to get your papers, get all your papers in line, y'all. I don't care what state you live in. You need to be thinking about, look for your birth certificate. Look for all the things they need are required. I always say everyone in this community should have their passports. So in order to have your passport, you need your birth certificate. So guess what? Solve two at one time. Get your passport in case you have to flee. Get your passport in case you have to leave this country. But guess what? You need to get your birth certificate for it. Use the opportunity to dig that stuff up. And if you need to go to the offices, go to your local office and get your papers. Because they're trying to also nationalize the election. And you got to have certain papers. Well, get ahead of it. You need to get ahead of it. We all need to get ahead of it. Okay. I think that's it, Chris, sir. Chris, my buddy. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy this weekend. Again, these were the distractions. We need to talk about the distractions, but we got a Super Bowl this weekend. Let's have some family time. Like I said, every day, get in the mirror. You got to do it once a day. Get in the mirror and look at yourself and say, I love you. I love you. Let's surround ourselves with positive energy because that's how we will survive. That's how we will grow. That's how we will fight. Enjoy the weekend, guys.
Have a great
Later.
one, everybody.